Being an American can feel all kinds of ways in 2020. I typically take solace in a wide array of American music. Dolly Parton, Donny Hathaway, Nina Simone, Willie Nelson, The Chicks, Lizzo, and the late greats John Prine and Bill Withers all speak to where we've been and where we're headed. I've had the great fortune of experiencing music as a superpower in human connection. I've belted out Johnny Cash and June Carter tunes with a complete stranger in an Irish pub in Galway, bonded over Celine Dion with Haitian construction workers as a result of my very poor ability to speak Creole, learned how to whip and nae-nae with some elementary schoolers in Richmond, Virginia, and spent 6 months singing all the country hits in a cruise ship casino headed to Mexico from Mobile, Alabama. These moments spent connecting with people who look, sound, and live differently than me are merely slices of life exchanged. But these exchanges can carve pathways to a mutual understanding that can help us see each other for who we really are. And if we stay in the room long enough, the time we spend singing together in a classroom or hanging out in a karaoke bar can lead to more humanizing moments and real empathetic conversations that I know can open minds and shape the world. What I've found is we all have a lot more in common than not. We love a good hook about love, loss, learning, and longing. And in that cruise ship casino, the second you start singing Proud Mary, made famous by both Creedence Clearwater Revival and Tina Turner, the most unlikely people with strong opposing beliefs can be dancing and singing together like there's no tomorrow. We all have a very unique history in this country. But no matter who you are or what you look like in America, someone in your lineage, whether by choice or by force, has made it through the impossible in order for you to be here. And that, to me, is something that should unite, encourage, and empower us to reimagine American pride and patriotism. I'd like for us to think about the American cowboy for a second. A mythological pillar in our society, right? Usually a white man on a horse, often avoiding the law, shooting anything in his path. What we forget is that these cowboys we see in TV and movies were inspired by working class blue-collar folks, farmers on a horse, working farm to farm, trade to trade, usually on a 6-month contract, whose skin color and way of life varied throughout our massive country, not unlike so many of us reinventing our livelihoods in COVID. Over time, the media has represented more non-white cowboys such as Lil Nas X and Django Unchained. More women, LGBTQ, and people of color have been represented in the Americana country genre, but not nearly enough to reflect the monumental diversity in our country. In this moment, I'd like for us all to think of ourselves as modern-day cowboy superheroes going out into the unknown. The big iconic hat to house an ever-growing knowledge and acceptance of one another. A holster filled with radical empathy to unite us and bring us to a safer, more sustainable home. The addition of a magnificent cape to represent each and every person residing in this country, carrying each other on our backs with pride. And a lollipop, so that we can hang on to the sweet things when times get tough, just like a song we all know the words to. Haven't You Had Quite Enough is a song not only about being fed up with the absence of these attributes, but a call to examine what we've had enough of, what we can give and what we can give up in order to see each other thrive. It's a song about both experiences of having way too much in this country and not having enough, in hopes that we can cultivate a less divided and more united state of America. Thank you.
don't hear your babies crying. You just feel the man from finding what you're hiding from. The light is threatening your finite time and takes you to a perfect form of night.
This is a harsh kind of business and will require a harsh kind of man to see to.
Don't you see that man is lying to you? He's in your mind now, don't you let him fool you. What's distracting you on every screen? While we dance around, his hands are clean. Haven't you had quite enough? Don't you see the kids tucked in their cages? Hard to breathe under those foil blankets, holding them nest pretty tough. What you planning for down the line? Look at them all growing up. Slam the doors and got a bigger size. What do you add to your love? 'Cause they're calling you daddy now. They're calling you daddy now. They're calling you daddy. Have you had quite enough? Haven't you had quite enough? Haven't you had quite? Haven't you had quite? Haven't you had quite enough? Haven't you had quite? Haven't you had quite? Haven't you had quite enough? Haven't you had quite enough? Haven't you had quite enough? Haven't you had quite? Haven't you had quite? Haven't you had quite enough? Haven't you had quite? Haven't you had quite? Haven't you had quite enough?